Kia ora, Year 9. In this video, we're going to look at improper fractions and mixed numbers. By the end of this video, you should be able to confidently switch between these two forms of fractions. So let's just quickly look at what they are. Well, if I asked you how much cake you'd eaten today, and you'd had a big cake eating day, you might tell me that you'd eaten 2.5 cakes, right? So we often talk like this in English, where we're using a whole number and a fraction. Sometimes, though, for maths, it's much more useful to be able to say how many half cakes we've eaten, right? So the basic idea here is that if I've got 2.5 cakes, I've got 2 whole ones and half of that third cake, right? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 half cakes. We'd write that as 5 over 2 cakes. Now, it would be pretty weird if I asked you how many cakes you'd eaten and you said I'd had 5 over 2 cakes. But when we're doing multiplication and division, especially with fractions, that's what we need to be working with. Okay, so what you should be able to do by the end of this is go and do Dr. Frost Key Skills 171 and 172, and this skill needs to be absolutely fluent. So I want your accuracy to be set to 8 out of the last 10 correct. So let's look at how we can go from mixed numbers to improper fractions. So a mixed number is where it's got a whole number part and then a fraction part. So for 3 1/4, we could draw a picture like the one we had above. But that's going to be a little bit annoying. So 3 1/4, we can start off by drawing something, especially if I can get my window to go out more. There we are. So we can draw our quarters in, right? So let's draw in 4 quarters into that first one, and the same again here, and the same again here. They're meant to be all equal sizes, okay? So how many quarters have I got? Well, I've got 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, and 1 here, right? So 3 1/4, if we go all the way back to shading and fractions, would look like this. We want to move very quickly away from having to draw pictures because it's going to slow us down. Okay, and what we can see here is that we've got 3 lots of 4 quarters. So we've got 3 times 4, and then we've got 1 extra quarter. If you look at where those numbers are sitting inside my improper fraction, you can see that here I've got the 3 wholes, and here I've got the 4 quarters. So to convert 3 1/4 to an improper fraction, all I need to do is to times the 4 by the 3. That gets me 12. And then I add on the 1. So 4 3s are 12, plus 1 gives me 13 over 4. Okay, so let's try another one. So 5 2/7. Well, we could draw it all out, or we could say, how many sevenths are in the 5 wholes? 5 times 7 gives me 35. And then I've got these 2 extra sevenths. So I've got 35 plus 2/7. That gives me 37 over 7. So in general, what we're going to do to go from mixed to improper is that we're going to times these two numbers together, and then we're going to add on this one here. So now I've got 4 for you to try. So do these into your book. So for these, I'd like you to write down, first of all, write down the mixed number, and then write down the improper fraction. So for this one, the denominator will stay as 9, and we're going to have 9 2s are 18, plus 1 gives me 19 over 9. The next one, 6 3/5. Well, I have 5 times 6 gives me 30, plus 3 gives me 33 over 5. For the next one, I've got 21 wholes and 2/3. So we multiply the 3 by the 21. That gives me 63 plus the 2 extra thirds. So my final answer here is 65 over 3. And the last one, 12 1/7, we've got 84 sevenths, 7 twelves is 84, plus 1 extra gives me 85 over 7. So that's how we go from mixed to improper. Now, once we've done this, in real life, we need to check that we can't simplify the fractions. But I've done other videos on that, so I'm not focusing on that here. The next skill is to go the other way around. When we're given an improper number, how can we turn it back into a mixed number? So for this one, you need good knowledge of your basic facts, because you're going to be looking for the closest number in your multiplication table that's below it. So you'll see what I mean when we do a couple of examples with a diagram. So if I've got 12 divided by 7, we can draw that out as follows. There are 7 sevenths in one whole. Right, so here I've used up 7 of those 12 sevenths. Now, how many have I got left over here? Well, I've used up 7 and I've got 5 more. So we can write 12 over 7 as 1 whole and 5 sevenths. So we're working backwards from what we did in the last screen. We're looking for the nearest whole number, right? Here we're saying we've got 33 divided by 4. So think about our 4 times table. How many wholes have we got in here? Well, 4 eighths are 32, and that's as close as we can get below 33. So we're going to have 8 wholes and 1 leftover quarter. So 8 and 1/4. We can always check these back by doing what we've just learnt to do. So 4 times 8 gives me 32, plus 1 matches up to the 33. For 21 over 2, the nearest whole number below it will be 10. 10 twos are 20, and we've got 1 left over. And again, working it backwards, we can check and go 2 times 10 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Right, now here are a few for you to try before you go and do the Dr. Frost work. Pause the video, do these into your book, and then mark them with me. So 16 thirds can be written as 5 wholes and 1/3. Checking it back, 3 5s are 15. 15 plus 1 is 16. 29 over 7. The nearest number in the 7 times table below it is 28. 7 4s are 28. So we have 4 and 1 extra seventh. Checking it back, 7 4s are 28. 28 plus 1 gives me 29. And the last one, 36 fifths. What's the nearest number in my 5 times table? It's going to be 35. 5 7s are 35, and then we've got 1 left over. Checking it back, we have 5 7s are 35, plus 1 gives me 36. So there you go. Most students find going from mixed to improper is slightly faster than going from improper to mixed. But it's important that both of these are fluent. So if you're not feeling that great about the last ones in here, go on to the numeracy section of Dr. Frost and just do 5 minutes more of your times table practice. Thanks for watching, and make sure you're keeping up to date with the work using the Google Doc and the Dr. Frost skills.